Please welcome Jonathan Eig.
So Ali and I, at least at first glance, do not appear to have a lot in common. We have one thing in common. We both have a lightning-fast jab. You want to see my jab? You want to see it again? That's another Ali joke. And I could easily stand up here and do Ali material all day. But it's important to note that a biographer does not necessarily have anything in common with his subject. I did something like 600 interviews. I lost count for this book, the number of interviews I was doing. I counted every punch that Ali was struck with and every punch that he hit his opponents with. I conducted original scientific research with speech scientists at Arizona State University, where we tracked Ali's speaking ability over the course of his boxing career and correlated it with those punches to see what kind of damage he was doing to himself from boxing. And that's really one of the joys of this project, perhaps more than any book I've ever written. I had lots of people to talk to and lots of live interviews to explore. A biographer has to have many tools. A biographer has to do the interviews. He has to do the research. He has to spend lots and lots of time in archives and libraries digging up materials. I discovered that Ali's grandfather was a convicted murderer, something Ali himself did not even know. But perhaps the most important tool a biographer needs is curiosity. I think curiosity is more important than familiarity. I'm not an expert on boxing, was not an expert on boxing before I began this book. Lives are full of uncertainty. Biographies should be too. Biographies require interpretation, even if it turns out to be incorrect interpretation. No one would want to read a biography that amounts to nothing more than a list of dates and achievements. The storyteller's job is to find the story, explain the motives and meanings, and to acknowledge that we can't know everything. Biography asks us, the writer and the reader, to imagine what it might be like to be another person, to have lived a different life, perhaps even lived in a different time, perhaps a different universe. Biography asks us to open our minds, to try to imagine how a black kid from the Jim Crow South, a dyslexic kid, the son of an abusive father, can grow up to call himself the greatest of all time.